I think my favorite show to do was Chicago, just because on that show I was in it, and I liked the character that I was in it, but then I also was doing props for it, so I was doing tech for it at the same time, and then I was also working with drag queens, so I mean...
No one is going to agree with me on this, but Murder is My Business. It's probably the only show I've ever had like a major part in. It was the first show I had ever gotten the chance to actually curse on stage.
My favorite show was a Dybbuk, my first show, and that's because I got to come into the community like this wide-eyed sophomore with no experience with any of these people before, and that was shocking, but I also got to enjoy all these new stories and stuff and all like the lore from the community.
For like art quality, my favorite show was probably Lines, but like if I'm talking about my mental health, I probably had the most fun with like Almost Maine.
I really liked being a part of a Dybbuk. I think it was a lot of fun just because there were so many people in it, and it was nice because we got to sleep backstage and eat the challah bread, and that was fun.
I think I'm gonna have to go with All in the Timing. I really enjoyed that show. It was probably my favorite experience of all of the shows that I was in. We had the most cast chemistry. The directors were really fun. I just really enjoyed it.
In terms of the show itself, I'd probably say Dybbuk was my favorite just because it was my first lead role, and everything was kind of new for me, like being on stage and being a central character. But in terms of the people I was working with, probably All in the Timing, because there was some Debbie, and you got your Mr. Pirenboom, and you got your Addie Fecker, and you just got everybody in there who I really liked and bonded with the cast a lot.
Spinning yarn. Yeah.
It was company because I was this little freshman in a cast full of seniors plus Ryan and Nikki, and I was the only freshman girl, and it was terrifying, and I was surrounded by people who were so much more prepared than I was for this crazy experience, and I wasn't there for half the rehearsals, and it was just the show that happened in a blur. It was a blur of fun.
Okay, so the funniest onstage experience was when I was in Lines and I had to die like a ton of times and then just lie on the stage dead. And one night I was, just on the stage dead, but an audience member whispered to me, because we had the intimate seating, we were so close, "I know you're not dead, I see you breathing." And I had to like bite my tongue because I was so afraid I would like start cackling, because I was like, what a dick move, buddy.
This was A Christmas Carol. And the snow never really happened the way that it should have. Didn't really fall as it should. And I slipped on it a couple of times. I slipped on it backstage as well. There were carpets that we had, but my shoes didn't really hold up for that. This is a really lame answer. I don't have any funny onstage experiences, but I slipped on fake snow once. This last show during All in the Timing, when the chalkboard broke apart on stage.
In Katie's play, and Counting, there was a line that was, "Do you like me back?" that I asked about whether Natina's character liked my character back. And backstage, Miles had commented on how whenever I said that line, it sounded like I was asking her in a pirate voice if she liked my back. And I almost broke every night on stage, and I started having to say it like very slowly so that I knew that I was saying it with the right like emphasis. So I'd say like, "Do you like me back?" instead of like, "Do you like me back?" So that was horrible.
Back to All in the Timing. There was one point where the beer can was on the table when I slammed my hands down, and so when I slammed my hands down, the beer can just went pew. And I think I almost broke. It was really very funny.
It was also during Murder is My Business where we had some technical issues, and I may have been the direct cause of one or two or three of them, where I had tripped on the stairs and I slammed my purse directly into the light box and turned all of the lights on all at once.
During A Christmas Carol, I broke my arm, and then I was like, I had to like carry Fiona Woodman, and I was like, I'm gonna do this. And so I like showed up the next day, like took the cast off, and then like my elbow like still clicks because it was like just like pride.
All of a Dybbuk. Because I was a man in it. And it was horrible. I had a beard, and I hated it more than anything else in the world. And every time we did the show, my mom would try to like sneak backstage when she saw it and like take pictures so she could send them to people, and it was the worst thing that ever happened to me. I love that show, but it was the worst thing that ever happened to me.
Most embarrassing moment on stage? A Christmas Carol.
During the universal language, this last one, I had a list of 3 words that I had to say. I had to say nonsense, gibberish, double talk, but I said them in the wrong order, so I couldn't remember what the third one was supposed to be. So I said like nonsense, double talk. So I just kind of shouted "Cabaret" as the last one. It's just a nonsense syllable.
I wish I could just make something up. No, I'm really lame. I don't have one.
I think my favorite role was Billy Flynn from Chicago. That was when I started feeling confident in like acting in general.
My favorite role in the Lincoln Drama Department is costumer. It's all I've ever been, so I guess I've stayed true to who I am.
I really liked being on the props crew of Chicago, or props / run / no one really knows what I was for Chicago, because it was really lively backstage. I got to see all the dancing from a different angle and not just in the audience.
I think it has to be Amos Hart, Mr. Cellophane from Chicago, because it was by far the most challenging role that I'd ever taken on, because I had hardly any experience doing musical theater singing.
I think that my favorite role that I played was definitely in Newark's this year, Libby, because it was just nice to kind of work, like, I'm so used to doing big cast shows, it was really nice to work on like a small scale, and I was just working with like 2 other people, and it was just that 10-minute scene that we got to focus in on, and it was really intense, and it was really like fun to get into that character because it was something really different than everything else that I'd done. My favorite role was Roxy in Chicago, because I hate her. I hate Roxy more than anything in the world. She is the worst human being. I want to strangle her constantly. So just being her was a ball. It was great. It was a ride.
Being on run crew for Murder's My Business, because it was a whole lot of nothing.
My favorite role would have to be Janie from Present Perfect, just because I felt like that role had a little bit of everything, like it had a little bit of romance, a lot of action, and I kind of got to make her my own, so I really enjoyed playing Janie and changing it up every night.
Jim. I can't say thank you enough. I owe Mr. Perenboom so much.
Thank you for always being there with a quirky quip or maybe a pitiful pun.
I just want to like thank Perenboom for all of the opportunities he's given me. Just like he's done a great job with this theater department, the V&V program. I don't like that's a great thing, and it opened me up to playwriting. I don't know if he was responsible for getting that in, but thanks anyways. Thanks for just like exposing me to drama in general. Like I think Perenboom directed my first show, and it left a really good impression on me. And that was a Christmas Carol my freshman year, and I just ever since then I've just like wanted to do drama, and now it's like a major part of my life. So just thanks for getting me into it.
I guess I'd just like to thank Mr. Perenboom. I'm so grateful to be a part of his family for the couple years that I was here. And I don't know, I just feel like he accepted every single one of us for who we are, and I was really grateful for that. And also, this is going to sound a little weird, but he kind of taught me how to take theater a little more seriously, because before it was just kind of me doing skits and it was really unstructured, but I think contrary to what people might say about theater and that it's all about goofing off and having fun, I think he taught me to take it a little more seriously and to put effort into practicing my monologues, and that theater can have structure and rules too.
Thanks to Perenboom.
Well, Mr. Perenboom, you very much changed my whole high school career. I was in a very bad place when you reached out to me.
I started my freshman year with Actors Workshop first period, and I will end it Actors Workshop 8th period. And like, it's just been such a great experience. Thank you so much for just like being there, like both through theater. Like, I've learned so much for acting, for tech, and I feel like I've gotten so much out of this experience. And like, but like emotionally too, it's been a hard couple of years, and thank you so much for just being there. It made my high school career, so thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Mr. Perenboom, for introducing me to the world of professional theater. I didn't really understand how it would be in the real kind of world working with adults and everything, just because I had spent all my life working in children's theater. So it was definitely an eye-opener to get to actually work with people who would eventually be going on into doing really great things.
I probably wouldn't have dreams of being an actor right now if it wasn't for you, so thank you for that.
Jim Perenboom is like the bomb, for reals, and I have like all my confidence and like just like passion and everything is like that rock of like Jim Perenboom. Like, not a joke, like for realsies, like just like love Jim Perenboom. He's the best.
You made me want to learn more. Every time I came into class, I wanted to be there, and I never wanted to skip. There were people who wanted to skip, and they were like, "Haley, come with us," and I was like, "No, I wanna do this. This is awesome." I think you made me a real person. I just said that, but you taught me how to behave when things didn't go my way. You taught me how to behave when things did go my way. And I think that without that, I wouldn't be able to move on to the next stage of my life. And thank you. Thank you for everything.
What the hell? What kind of question is that? That's so sad!
Not doing Newarks my freshman year.
The reason I don't regret anything is because any mistake that I've made, I've learned from, and it's become like part of who I am. So I don't know if you guys want like a clip of me saying that, or it's like.
I don't have any regrets.
My biggest regret was actually acting at all and not just going right to tech and like having to suffer through a couple shows with like terrible mental health before realizing like it's way better to be a techie.
Not doing more stuff here. Just in general.
Never auditioning for Newarks.
I guess it'd have to be Shia LaBeouf!
I don't need to think about this one, because I have my jokey answers, but it's like, no, I want a real answer.
I want Shia LaBeouf. I want Shia LaBeouf to play me.
Ellen Page.
Because the only redhead I can come up with, and I don't even think she's a natural redhead, I think it's dyed, but Emma Stone, and she's funny, like, you can't lose with that. Like, if I get the ideal, then like, somebody who's funny, because, you know, I'm not.
In a movie about myself, I think Mike Myers would play me.
Idris Elba.
In a movie about myself, I think Caleb would probably play me because he can play any part.
In a movie about myself, I would be played by Caleb Sohigian.
Honestly, it's a toss-up between Kate Moss and Mason Disick.
I'd be really into Edward Norton. That'd be really cool.
Well, I was always looking for a kind of activity to do. I was going to do track and field, but I have no athleticism in me, so I didn't want to do that.
I came to high school and just wanted to try it out in a more formal setting or with more people. And then what kept making me try out for plays was probably the people that I encountered every year. I don't know, I just think like one of the strongest things about the Lincoln Drama Department is the people.
Oh, I was originally in only musical theater freshman year, and I was in band, and then I was like, Dad, I don't want to do band, because I was really angsty as a 14-year-old, and he was like, oh, why not? And I was like, because I want to do Actors Workshop, duh.
Ryan Hanlon.
In high school, would have to be when I saw the auditions like come out for Christmas Carol, and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna do it.
I was always desperate for attention, and this was the best outlet for me.
I've been doing theater. My dad was a theater kid in high school, and so he started me in theater when I was like 4, and like I did it for a little while, and then I kind of quit. And then in middle school, I wanted to do theater again, but my school didn't have a theater program, and so like coming into high school, I knew that was something I wanted to do, and like I auditioned for A Christmas Carol, I think my second week, my freshman year.
I was involved in drama as a middle schooler. I remember watching my brothers participate in drama and always thinking that I wanted to do that too, so I started in 6th grade with Little Shop of Horrors at West Sylvan.
Backstage of Chicago with Ian Anderson. That was, if you weren't there, you don't know what I mean. If you were there, you know exactly what I mean.
My favorite memory is also from company from freshman year. Ryan and I were instructed to clean these mirrors in the boys' dressing room.
The first time I ever got a callback was really exciting because I didn't really think I had done a good job in the auditions.
Closing night of company, because, I mean, again, I wasn't really close with anyone in that cast except for Kay McFarland, because they were all seniors, and like, they were really scary to little freshman Haley, and closing night, instead of doing a vocal warm-up, we all stood around in a circle and we held hands and we sang Hallelujah.
And Becca was just like, hey guys, like, use this water bottle, like, clean up all the mirrors. And Ryan and I end up soaking both of ourselves and all of the clothes in the boys' dressing room because we just ended up, like, throwing water at each other, and it turned into a huge mess. All of my favorite memories end in, like, huge messes.
My best memory is definitely being when I finally was able to suppress all of the memories.
There would be a moment when all three of us, Gabby, Ben, and I, knew our script so well that we could start saying it in like weird accents and start saying it just completely weirdly, and we'd still like not only run lines but have fun doing it.
The support system, especially Jim.
I think I'm going to miss. I'm going to miss some people in particular that have been, very sweet to me over my past couple years.
I'm probably going to miss the traditions that we have the most, so I'm going to miss just all of the things that you do just before the show, the pre-show warm-ups, both for the tech crew and the theater, like actor type people, and I'm going to miss being backstage and waiting for my turn in this dark, cavernous room, and you can hear everything that's going on stage, and you can't see the audience, and I don't really know if I'll ever have that experience again.
I'm gonna miss the people so much. I mean, that's one of those things that, like, you always say, but, like, and I know you can keep in contact with people, but, like, it's never gonna be the same, and, like, it's been so nice to just, like, have a family and have a network, and, like, there's always people you're close to. Like, there's always people you can talk to, and it's such a community.
The moment when it's like opening night and everybody's high energy, excited about the show, and really just wants to be there and perform it. And then similarly on closing night, when everybody is at a similar energy level, and they're just excited to bring the show to a close.
Well, first the people. Just that effortless, deep connection that you get with a group that has such a specific goal in mind.
Honestly, I mean, I've already talked a lot about the people, but I think, it's going to be the little things that I miss. Like, if I do decide to do theater in college, it'll be, we'll get ready for the show on opening night or any night, and I'll be like, kick some boot, and everyone's going to be like, what are you doing? So I think it's like the little traditions that we have, or I don't know, the little notes that people write to each other, or the tech parody. Honestly, just those little things that Lincoln does that kind of makes it different from the rest of the theater departments.
I'm gonna miss Jim Perenboom, Matt Drepsky, Debbie Lammenbin, Haley Tollner, Caleb Sohigian, and like, and I've been missing like the senior class from when I was freshman forever, because like they were cooler than like and they were like so scary. Like I've never been so scared. Like I'm gonna miss like feeling scared.
I want to say Abigail, but she'd think that was really cheesy because it is really cheesy. So so sorry, Abigail, but I'm gonna miss you.
Next year, I'm gonna reunite with my space family.
So I'll be going to Montana State University in the fall. I've already met my roommate over text message. I'll be going for arts with a focus on graphic design and character design.
I am going to Southern Oregon University to study business starting next year. Yeah, that's pretty much the extent of it. Hopefully that goes well.
Next year, I will be attending Marymount Manhattan College in New York City on the Upper East Side. Holla at that, Gossip Girl. And I will be studying. Oh my god, wow, okay. I will be studying theater performance with a concentration in playwriting. And yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing for the next 4 years.
My plans for next year are cacti and succulents. My plans for next year, however,
Next year, I'm going to go to college in Italy, in Florence, and then I'm going to go to college in New York. That's it. That's all I have to say.
I'm not actually planning on studying theater or doing theater in college, so we'll see how long that lasts. You guys can check in with me on that. I'm sure that it won't be true. It's come like October. I'll be like, oh yeah, this is the show I'm helping with.
Next year, I am taking a gap year in the great unknown. I'm going to be doing original practice Shakespeare. I have an internship with them over the summer. Then I got cast in my first professional play. I'm excited about that over at Coho. Getting paid, so that's exciting. And then I'm going to go to Australia to do some street performing because I've got one of those sort of lives.
Next year, I'm heading to Whitman College in Walla Walla, which is only 4 hours away, so hopefully I'll be able to come back and see some shows. And also Whitman, usually colleges have like 3 plays a year about, but Whitman has 8, which is really nice. So hopefully I'll be able to get involved in theater somewhere in my life in the future.
I'm going to Willamette University, and hopefully I will be able to declare a major in both theater and physics, and hopefully like that'll lead to more careers in the future.
I'm gonna go to University of Puget Sound and major in whatever.
I'm gonna move to North Carolina to pursue a BFA in acting in Elon University, and I'm gonna try not to get like murdered by the right-wing Southern people. So yeah.